In this video, we're going to take a look at a lithium-powered lantern from Ledlenser called the ML6. If you're familiar with my channel, you know that I'm always looking for more ways to use protected 18650 lithium batteries. They're the master race of batteries, in my opinion. They outperform and outlast any comparable AA or AAA powered device, and are still quite safe to use due to the built-in protection in the button top. Unfortunately, devices that use removable lithium cells are pretty rare. Most lithium-powered devices have internal battery packs that are not removable, which is great, but it means you can't easily swap out batteries for fresh ones like you can with AA or AAA batteries. It also means if the internal battery ever fails or degrades, the whole thing goes in the trash, which is silly and wasteful. Recently I reviewed an 18650 powered lantern from Streamlight and thought it was one of the only ones on the market using a removable cell. Since then, I've found a few others, including this Ledlenser ML6, which we'll take a look at today. And yes, the correct pronunciation is Ledlenser and not LED Lenser like you might think. Ledlenser is a German company that specializes in portable lighting products. I wasn't familiar with them before discovering this ML6, but from some basic research it seems like they make really good products. Obviously we'll put the ML6 to the test and verify that. Ledlenser did send this lantern to me free of charge in exchange for an honest and unbiased review. The lantern that Ledlenser sent me is their warm light version of the ML6, but there's also a white light version as well. Both versions retail for $90 US as of the time of this video. Inside the box is the lantern itself, one 3000 mAh lithium battery, a removable rubber base, a storage bag, a USB cable, a warranty card, and a user manual. While you watch me finish the unboxing and fiddle around with the ML6, let's go over some specifications. The ML6 is rated at 750 lumens on its brightest setting and 5 lumens on its lowest. The warm light version has a slightly lower runtime than the regular white light version, so if runtime is important to you, then you might want to choose the white light. On high, the white version goes for 4 hours and the warm version goes for 3.5 hours. On low, the white goes for 240 hours versus 200 for the warm. There's also a boost setting that's brighter than 750 but only lasts for several seconds before switching back to high. Both versions have a red light output mode as well as blink, strobe, pulse, and SOS. My first real complaint is that the modes are not easy to use. The controls to turn them on and off is not intuitive, and if I didn't have the instructions in front of me, I never would have figured them out. I'm sure with some practice I could switch between the normal modes pretty easily, but if there was a real emergency out in the bush somewhere with no internet and no instructions, good luck figuring out the SOS or pulse functions to signal someone. Another few things that were noteworthy are that parts of the lantern glow in the dark, which is nice if you're trying to find it in your tent in the night, and it has an integrated magnet so you can easily attach it to any metal surface in addition to the normal hooks that most lanterns have. Also, it can operate as a power bank to recharge other USB devices. And it's water resistant, although the intrusion rating information they provide is confusing, as this graphic shows IP66, but the specs on the website say IP54. Either way, if it's exposed to a little rain, it should be fine. Last but not least, please note that the included 18650 cell cannot be directly connected to a USB cable for charging like the battery in the Streamlight. So you do have to recharge the battery inside the lantern itself, or use a third-party charger. If you need a good charger, I sell an excellent one from MillerTech on my website that I'll put a link to in the video description. The 18650 cell it comes with is right at 70 millimeters in length, which is important since protected cells can vary in length a little bit. I did test the ML6 with a slightly shorter cell that was closer to 67 millimeters, and it worked just fine. Anyway, enough of the marketing and specs. Let's see what this lantern can do. Keep in mind, my testing is mostly for demonstration and comparison purposes, not for precision measurements of the light output. But the Lux Meter app on my phone is pretty accurate nonetheless. On the lowest setting, I measured 8 lux, or 8 lumens per square meter. On high, I measured 899 lux. And on the boost setting, I measured 1241 lux. For comparison, let's look at the Streamlight lantern. Here you can see the radical difference in the color of light between the warm light of the Ledlenser and the cold white light of the Streamlight. The much cheaper Streamlight lantern's lowest setting produces 61 lux, and on its highest setting produces 785 lux. Here you can see both lanterns side by side for a size comparison. The Ledlenser ML6 is much slimmer and longer and weighs a little bit more. In conclusion, I personally think the Ledlenser is a fantastic lantern. I wish I had more lanterns to compare it to, but it isn't a fair fight against the Streamlight. It has much higher light output, many times longer runtime on its lowest setting, more output settings to choose from, more modes, comes with a carry bag, and has a built-in magnet. However, it is a bit larger, heavier, has a shorter warranty, costs twice as much, and is a little more complicated to use. So it isn't perfect, but it's hard to argue with all of the things you get for your purchase price, and the raw performance is outstanding. Thanks for watching this review video. If you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below.